Good morning, everybody. Greg Harrelson here with Century 21, the Harrelson Group. And as always, I have my co-host, Abe Safa, with us, also Century 21, the Harrelson Group. And we're excited to bring some fresh data to you, some good conversations, I guess, talk about, the relevant issues that we're experiencing in the Myrtle Beach real estate market at this time. How you doing, Abe?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good, man.
Busy as always.
Keeping busy as always. Yes, I had a feeling you were probably going to say that. Before we go into the numbers, Abe, I keep getting a question, and people are asking, like, are there going to be foreclosures to hit the market? I mean, not only are sellers asking, are there going to be foreclosures to hit the market? Because they're asking if that could have an impact on the market, slow the market down, maybe force prices down a little bit. But I've also had a lot of buyers asking and saying, hey, gosh, are there any foreclosures hitting the market? Because these prices are getting a little bit out of hand. I need to find something. I'm willing to fix it up if I need to, if I could get a little bit better value. So I know you and I were talking about this last week, and I think you found some information on it that you wanted to share. So, yeah, tell us a little bit of what's going on with foreclosures, if you can.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that question a lot. If you find a good deal, let me know. When are foreclosures and short sales coming? So the right now, I think 2.7 million homes are in forbearance right now.
Okay.
A good portion of them are 90 days late. So what happened, I think this was about 2 weeks ago, they extended the forbearance, I think for up to 2 more extensions. So what that means is no foreclosures can be filed until the end of December in 2021. Okay, so that means there will be no foreclosures here in the market before 2022. So everything's the can has just been kicked down the road a little bit further. I guess trying in the hopes that the economy, continues to get stronger and the people that are behind are able to get caught up is I think what the thinking behind that is. So there will not be any foreclosures, at least at this point, until 2022.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And, usually I know, and I'm speculating here. I surely haven't been talking to the source, whoever the source is that makes these decisions. But, I think that, there was some talks about towards the end of the year that they were going to release some foreclosures. But it's very common, no matter what situation we're in as an economy, it's very common that that banks hold back foreclosures during the holiday season. So past, say, November 1st, it's very rare that they get aggressive on foreclosures in any year, no matter what the economy's doing, because of holiday seasons. So they just don't want to put people out of their homes. So it seems to be logical that if they're not going to do it this summer, then they may as well just go ahead and wait till the new year, get through another holiday season. I will say something interesting. A few agents have asked me about this or shared information about seeing an increase in the number of BPOs that's being requested. Now, a BPO is called a broker price opinion, and a BPO, a broker price opinion, is typically a request that a bank makes of a real estate agent. They may call up Abe and say, "Hey, Abe, can you give me a broker price opinion?" And then what that would mean is the agent would go in, kind of do a market analysis of the property and tell the bank that if they were to sell the property at this time, what's the value of the property? And it shares with them what's the condition of the property, etc. Typically, they do that on properties that maybe somebody's not making payments or they're making slow payments, and they're trying to make a determination of what the value is to determine in the future whether or not this is a property that they should maybe consider for foreclosure, or is this a property they should consider suggesting a short sale? Maybe they can do a deed in lieu. Maybe they could work out restructuring a loan. Like what they determine based on a BPO is influenced on what the value of that BPO is, as well as the amount that's owed by the borrower. So the fact that we're seeing an increase in BPO requests tells us, I make the assumption that, or I speculate, that what they're doing is they know at some point they're going to have some foreclosures that they're going to be releasing to the market. We know it'll be 2022. Okay. Or right now it's extended to 2022. Don't know if it'll get extended again. But the banks must be thinking it's probably going to happen at the beginning of 2022. And it appears that they're getting ready and they're evaluating all those assets now. So then when the moratorium comes off, they can move forward if they choose to. And they've got a lot of the research period behind them. So I don't know if you've heard about that, but I've had many agents, Abe, that I know do BPOs for banks that are seeing an increase in the request.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. I think they're looking at what their books look like and what the potential downfall could be with these.
That's exactly what it is.
But the thing is, right now, with the way the market is here, especially, but around the whole country, there's been good appreciation in homes. So I think the banks, unlike 2007, where a lot of the properties were underwater, there's pretty good equity in most homes right now.
Yeah, and so on a positive twist, because I don't want anyone to think that's negative, what I just said, that's of concern, because what a lot of banks are going to find out with these BPOs, they're going to find out that maybe the property's worth, or let's just say this, the property may have been worth $200,000, or let's just say $300,000 when they gave the person a loan. They may have given a loan of $280,000 to that person. And so they're like, gosh, we better look and now the person's not making payments. They want to go and say, is this property now underwater? If this person had to sell this, is there any equity there? Well, they do a BPO and find out that property is worth $360,000 now. And now they say, well, gosh, this person's not making any payment. So if we do have to foreclose, there's actually equity in this property. So they're not in an upside down manner. So the seller has an exit. The seller could actually sell, avoid foreclosure, get a few dollars to move to the next property. So there's a lot of things. A lot of banks are going to find out that there's more equity in these properties than they thought. So that could be a positive thing.
No question. Yeah.
Abe, let me ask you this, though. Let's just assume today, I think I know your answer. If 100 foreclosures came on the market today, would that change the market and property values?
No, that gets sucked up in 3 days.
3 days. If 100 foreclosures come on the market, they'd all be sold in 3 days.
So single family homes right now, if 100 hit the market, they'll be gone in 3 days.
Yeah. And so the point in saying that is we actually don't see foreclosures hitting the market at the beginning of the new year. That alone probably doesn't crash the market. It probably doesn't. Now, I said that alone because I have no idea what else could be coming up with the economy. But assuming that was the only thing to change, and there was some, it would actually provide some relief to the market.
There'd be some happy buyers, that's for sure.
Yeah. And not because they're getting deals, because their prices will be market value. They won't be it won't be liquidation prices.
Right.
So the buyers will be happy because they actually have something to buy instead of sitting there waiting for something to buy.
Absolutely. Yeah. It would be a relief, I think, to buyers out there.
Well, good. Well, why don't you go ahead and let's talk some numbers. Yeah,
let's talk some numbers. So I wanted to recap before we go into the usual numbers that we do. I wanted to recap March. So March, which we just got the numbers out last week, 1,134 homes sold in the month of March. That's a 35% increase over last year in March. So year over year, a 35% increase. So big numbers. I mean, even though inventory is super low right now, homes are turning so much quicker than they usually are.
Yeah.
Homes right now are hitting the market. They're selling in a matter of days, right? Last year at this time, we could be sitting on, 30, 60, 90 days before a home sells. Right now, it's instant. So even though inventory is super low, the turnover is so much quicker right now. Condos, 816 condos sold in March. That's a 62% increase, Greg, over last year. Wow. And you and I have been talking about this for a while. We're going to see this hot streak right now because we're running out of homes. Is that going to trickle over to the condo market? And I think it's finally happening.
Yeah.
Where it's trickling over to the condo market. So we see a big drop in condo inventory now all of a sudden. So let's go over the other numbers real quick. And then I want to bounce back and let's talk about the supply right now. Let's talk about inventory. Single family homes right now in resales. we're down to a 1.1 month supply of inventory. So roughly 5 weeks worth of inventory in the entire market. So what that means is if no more homes hit the market over the next 5 weeks, the amount of inventory we have, they'd be down to zero, would sell out.
Yeah.
So 1.1 month supply, that's down 76% from last year. That's an insane number. Condos, we're down to a 1.9 month supply of condos. So we're seeing the rush over to the condo market, okay, that we talked about. But here's the catch, though. We're not seeing it quite as heavy on the oceanfront condos. So right now people are looking for homes. They're not finding them out there, Greg. And you notice, so what they're doing is they're going to look at the condos. So right now, any condos that are off the ocean are selling so much quicker. And we've seen some pretty good appreciation almost across the board with those kinds of condos, higher in certain places like Barefoot Resort right now. Prices have really jumped up here in the last couple of months. There's no inventory. If you look at the entire Barefoot Resort, which is over 700 properties in there, I think there's about 7 condos on the market for sale and 1 home. So I did a quick search of condos that are on golf courses. There's only 27 condos in the entire market on golf courses available for sale right now.
Wow.
There's only 31 homes on golf courses right now across town, and there's 54 lots on golf courses right now. So we're seeing a rush towards golf courses. We're seeing a rush towards properties off the ocean right now.
That's incredible.
Any thoughts there? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that, my only thoughts are just, how the numbers are matching up. It's like when we look at inventory levels, we dissect it. It's making a lot of sense, even though the market is really hot. It's very clear as to why we're seeing prices spike, and it's just because of low inventory.
Yeah.
And again, hence where we say, gosh, if there was foreclosures, they would get absorbed so quickly. Like a normal market is a 6-month supply of inventory. For us to be sub 2 months, we're so far past abnormal. We're like, this is an extraordinarily, extraordinary low when it comes to inventory. Like, we're not even close to normal. So, if the inventory increased by 100% today, we would still be a seller's market.
Right.
That's a crazy thing, a way to look at it.
So
if the inventory doubled.
In relation to the real estate bubble back in 2005, the housing market right now, when it comes to single family homes, is blowing that away.
Yeah.
Like it's not even close, at least in this market. Now, condos is a different story. Condos back then were a completely different animal.
Yeah.
So we're not anywhere near what condos were doing back in 2005, but when it comes to in 2006, but when it comes to homes, completely blowing it away.
Yeah. Well, and in my opinion, it would be dangerous if we actually got to that level again on condos. That's kind of the reason why the bubble burst. All right, what do we have here?
All right, so this is I didn't get a chance to do the graphs I usually have, so I had.
Well, I like it because it's sunny outside, and that last graph shows it's raining.
I had to improvise this week.
I like it.
So single family homes. 4726 on the market. This is all single family homes, new and resales. 3255 on the contract. That's almost 69%. A little bit of a bump from last time we talked, Greg. It was just under 68 last time. So again, still getting tighter and tighter every single week. Resale homes, 66.5%, right around the same number as it was 2 weeks ago. So a little bit. I don't want to use the word slowdown. Right, but I guess more homes hit the market, so a little bit of a breather, but still extremely tight inventory there. And then new construction is just still going ballistic. Out of 2546 homes available under construction, new construction to be built or available, 1805 are under contract. That's almost 71%. So again, those numbers continue to be strong for single family homes. But look at what happened with condos. So now condos are up to almost 61%.
Yeah.
Last time we did the show 2 weeks ago, we were at 56%. Mm-hmm. Typical market is somewhere in the range of 24 to 28% of condos on the market under contract. So you see that huge flow to the condo market right now. People are gobbling up these condos, and it is driving prices up with any condo just about that's off the ocean. Oceanfront condo still strong, almost 45%. That's up. It was 41.5% 2 weeks ago. So that's also moving. Not quite as good as off the ocean, and we're not quite seeing the appreciation here. Some buildings are doing really well. Some buildings that don't have a lot of inventory in a typical market, like some of the mid-rises up in North Myrtle Beach, are doing better. We're seeing some appreciation. So the buildings that don't typically carry a lot of inventory, we are seeing some appreciation, right? Because there's just not a whole lot of options for them. The usual buildings that always have a ton of inventory, like the Landmarks, the Coral Beaches of the world, things like that, they're kind of just sitting there flat. Nothing's really happening with those prices there.
Yeah.
And then land, almost 25% of all land is under contract. So the numbers also is being driven up right now because of lack of inventory.
Yeah, that's incredible. I was just thinking about the condo, section there, and I believe it's about 5 months ago.
Yeah.
There was a condo complex off the ocean in Carolina Forest where I remember doing some research over there, and there was a sale at $117,000. And about 2 weeks ago, we listed one, and the seller couldn't believe it that we were listing it at this price. We listed one at $149,900. Now, if you think percentage-wise, that's a huge percentage, right? And that thing is under contract. It went under contract within 3 days.
Yeah.
And it will get above 140. And so, like, in a 5-month period of time, from something to go from 117 to over 140, that's the kind of thing that we're seeing with some of those off the beach condos. Pretty interesting.
It's nuts. I was talking to a lady this morning, River Oaks, right? And you know how hot River Oaks is.
Oh my gosh.
A bunch of units in River Oaks all the time. Talked to a lady this morning. I looked up when she bought hers about 3 years ago. Bought a short sale, paid $55,000 for a 2-bedroom. I just sold one in there last week for $140 for a 2-bedroom. And right now in River Oaks, typically you'll see 20, 30 condos on the market for sale. There's like, I think 2 right now. Yeah. So if you own a condo in River Oaks, this is the time. If you've been thinking about selling, this is the time to jump on this.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Abe. Well, great information again. And for those of you that are out there, hopefully that you're appreciating the information and the approach that Abe and I take to, delivering information to property owners around the Myrtle Beach real estate market and the Horry County in general. So, Abe, thanks again for a great job. For those of you that would love to or need some sort of assistance or know people that do, please reach out to us. These are our cell numbers down here at the bottom. You can reach out to us by phone. You can text us. Any way you want to reach out, we'll be there to help you. Abe, thank you again.
Enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching.